Hello everyone, it's me, it's Jose, and I am finally back with Braveclan Year 4, which, mind you, is perfectly on schedule and not nearly 8 months after the last one. Don't talk to me about that. I'm sure you all watched the update video, and none of you skipped it at all, so we can all jump right on into the meat of it, if you know what I'm saying. This year was pretty insane. I'm very excited. I was jumping out of my skin when I was playing. I was like, oh my goodness. But, the cookie crumbles the way it crumbles sometimes. So, anyway, this year I wanted the lineup order to be dictated by relationships first, and then like the hierarchy order second. I wanted to draw some of the cats together, and they're not next to each other, so we're gonna be breaking the rules from now on. There are no rules. It's my show. Damn. I hope you're not too confused. Also, at the this note doesn't apply. There's been like so many updates since. Okay, I had a note about how I updated the game, and there's like new traits and stuff. Well, yes, there is, but there's been so many other updates since then, so we're gonna breeze over that one. Yeah, thank you for your patience. Let's get cracking with the cats. No additions to Star Clan this year, thankfully, or not, depending on if you're rooting for Aster Star or not. In any case, we're gonna get on with the living lineup right now. First up, our leader, who refuses to die, no matter what the game throws at him. This year, he's fallen into rivers, he's gotten ambushed, you name it really, and still he keeps going. He's now 145 moons old, with all his 9 lives intact, which he's probably gonna lose them all to old age or something. Not that I'm rooting for him to die or anything like that, but I'm also kinda rooting for Aster Stars, so anyway, next to him, his mate, whom he finally figured things out with, Hollow Nest. You have no idea how happy, how thrilled I am to announce this news. But I'm gonna tell you about River Star's year first, and then we'll get to Hollow Nest. All the dangerous side, River Star's year has actually been widely uneventful. He's become quite fond of all the new kids, and overall he is minding his own business. His focus has been entirely on Hollow Nest. He's been thinking about him, spending time with him, the whole 9 yards. I think your grandpa is a little smitten. When he's not making hard eyes at Hollow Nest, he's worrying about clan relations and his ability to lead, which, seriously, we have addressed this like 2 years ago. You're fine. Anyway, he's still here and stuff. He just won't do anything other than be absolutely sickening about Hollow Nest, so I have nothing to say about him. Please do things next year, River Star, especially dangerous things. You should live a little on the edge. Live very much, actually. Live 9 times, and do it really fast. Hollow Nest has also been spending time with River Star, obviously, but his duties have also called his attention with, several cats getting poisoned this year, though no one died or really suffered any consequences at all, so I suppose that's all thanks to him, really. And, with all the kittens and newcomers, and well, you get it. He's at his paws full. He had a very brief crush on both Grace Puddle and Aster Stripe for some reason, and then he got over it immediately, and then started hating the fact that Glowstreak is hanging around Lightburst. He seriously hates Glowstreak, which, me too, Matt. Me too. I get it. We're on the same page. I think he thinks that Glowstreak maybe isn't good for her, and that he's not entirely genuine, or with her for the right reasons. In any case, he's keeping a close eye on him. I think he really cares for Lightburst and would hate to see her hurt, but I think he also wants her to make her own mistakes and learn from them. Also, he is 110 moons old, which means if he is to keep going as he has, he will be joining the Elder Sprite gang next year. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. It will suit him, I think. He's the sort of guy to like age with grace, I feel like. Astrostripe is now 89 moons old with quite a wonderful year behind him. Guys, you're gonna wanna sit down for this. On the very last moon, him and Grey Puddle, they finally became mates, which is why Grey Puddle is right here next to Astrostripe. Oh man, I'm so happy. My fingers have been crossed since like the very beginning, and I honestly wasn't sure it was ever gonna happen, but here it is, right in front of my very eyes, and in front of your eyes as well. Now, let us hear about their years. Astrostripe has been working hard this year, getting to know and understand his clanmates, you know, the usual deputy business. He rescued yet another cat, like he seems to do, and I think he figured out whatever he needed to figure out, because on the very last moon, he became mates with Grey Puddle. He's feeling content, he is where he wants to be, and all is well. The pieces are falling together for him. I'm so hoping that next year continues on this note, and he can focus on his relationship and family. Grey Puddle is now 81 moons old, and the one that caught the poisonous rabbit, by the way, let's just open with that. He's been all over the place. He got caught in a Tulip trap, and instead of being scared and learning from it, he was focused on how strong Astrostripe is. He's still dreaming of becoming deputy, by the way. In any case, he got it together towards the end, kind of, and confessed to Astrostripe. Poor guy, really. I think he's a little unsure of his place now that all his kids are growing up and everyone seems to have an important role or job, and he doesn't feel like he himself does. I hope next year's good for him. I think it will be. He's finally figured out things with Astrostripe, and he's still getting along with Fleck. He has time to focus on simpler joys. Good things are right around the corner. I can almost feel it. And our third couple, because of course all the leading cats had to be the ones to get mates this year, so the lineup can look as imbalanced as possible. Lightburst and Glowstreak smoothed things over in the beginning of the year, and then they had a whole bunch of like really sweet and cute interactions, and here we are. I'm happy that they figured it out. They were super sweet in the beginning, and I was kind of worried that they would like be bickering forever. Anyway, we're gonna start with Lightburst's year. Lightburst is now 29 moons old. This year she's been taking good care of her duties as a medicine cat, and like I suspected, she's made good friends with Hollownest. Well, you know, sort of. Hollownest has like a teeny tiny slither of distaste for her, which I don't really know where that came from, but whatever. It'll smooth over. You know what? Actually, I think it might be the fact that she's being swept up in this whole Glowstreak business. She really wanted to fix things properly with Glowstreak in the beginning of the year, and it actually paid off. I think she's very empathetic and loving and just wants to fix things. You know, hates to be fighting with anyone. Maybe she wasn't even necessarily after a romantic relationship with Glowstreak, just wanted her best friend back, but I don't think she's complaining about this development. Glowstreak, I guess he's here. Yeah, unfortunately. He's 31 moons, keeps getting older, unfortunately. Okay, his year was great, full of good days and cute interactions with Lightburst. He's having the time of his life, to my dismay. He is, however, kind of struggling with his new apprentice. I think he doesn't quite know what to do. After all, Grey Puddle was always more fatherly than mentorly to him. Fleck nudged him to figure out his differences with Lightburst once and for all, and, well, he did, but now he's not really in good terms with Fleck anymore. I'm afraid he's the type of guy to keep, like, backup besties. He calls on Fleck when he and Lightburst aren't getting along, but when he's won Lightburst back, he cares not the tiniest bit for Fleck. A real charmer, this one. Also, I would like to note, he's been landing his nest with Lavender twice in his time in Braveclan, and I think he should keep doing that. On a completely unrelated note to what I just said, lavender is extremely toxic for cats. Please keep your lavender things away from your beloved pets. And here is the first new addition. Tulip Stripe was ostracized from her old clan, but no one really knows why. She is 61 moons old, vengeful, and an excellent speaker. I reckon that'll give you some hints as to what happened with her previous home. In any case, she came to Braveclan with a beak wound between moons, and Braveclan took her in and helped her. She kind of looks like Flypatch, doesn't she? I wonder if there's any kind of connection. They surely don't act like they know each other, but, you know, who's to say? They could still be related. I think she might be the first sort of, like, evil-traded cat in Braveclan. I'm excited to see where she takes her story. Perhaps we'll finally get some kind of villain other than, you know, a cat I dislike. Also, I swear, I had tulips in mind when I was designing her. She looks like a tulip. Please tell me that she looks like a tulip, because she does. She does look like a tulip. And yet another fresh face. Tornfruit was found by Asterstripe near the Thunderpath. He brought him in, and Tornfruit decided to stay in Braveclan, even after his jaw was healed. He is 48 moons old, loyal, and a great hunter, and his backstory says that he used to live in a barn, but stayed away from Tulips. Now, I don't know whose genius idea it was to name the injured cat with the broken, perhaps torn jaw, Tornfruit, but whoever came up with that name is not seeing the stars of Silverpelt. Good lord. Well, you know, he doesn't seem to mind. The irony seems to have flown right over his head. He's very respectful, and he's very happy to be here, of course. You know, he hasn't done much yet, he only just arrived, but I'm excited to find out. I wanted to make another long snout, huge ears, skinny legs type of guy, and the opportunity just waltzed right into my hands. Unfortunately, so did the opportunity to spend far too long going back and forth with this nightmare of a coat. Also, I'd like to note here that him and Fleck are very compatible. So maybe Fleck can finally have an actual friend? He's still friends with Lightburst, sort of, but his friendship with Glowstreak has gone up in flames, and I'm not sure there's any saving it. But here's a good candidate for a new bestie. And speaking of, here's everyone's favorite, Fleck. He is now 43 months old, grown up, and actually adopted some kids this year. I told you he had some of his father's adopting instincts somewhere in there. Aluna left a litter to the clan, and Fleck took them under his wing. He is now father to Billowpaw and Sheeppaw, but more on those guys later. Goodness, I am so happy that this happened. It fits really well, though on the last moon he was rethinking his life choices, so, you know, do with that what you will. Other than that, this year he's been making sure he's on the top of his game, caring for his clan, and being otherwise very responsible. I reckon that even though he was a bit lanky like his father in his teens, he'd be filling out quite nicely now that he's inching towards middle-aged, so I made him buffer. He won't get ripped and huge like some cats, but he's no stick figure anymore either. I also think he's kind of stepping out of the spotlight, passing the torch to perhaps Breezeflake, or one of his sons. The next main character has yet to reveal themselves, but I look forward to finding out. Breezepaw has graduated this year. Her name became Breezeflake, which I think is somewhat reminiscent of Fleck's Fleck. But it was entirely random, so perhaps not. We'll say this though, because that's very sweet to me. Also, when I was drawing her for year 3, I crossed my fingers that she would get one of the 2 tall, short pelt sprites, because I wanted to draw an oriental short hair. Just make a guess which one she got. That's right, the 3rd one, the roundest sprite in the game, the only one I did not want. Oh well. I've committed to the lanky look, so the lanky look is what she's gonna get. She also had some sort of growth spurt, as you can see. She's very tall now. She very quickly took the Fleck's adopted kids. She spent a lot of time with them as kids and is now mentor to Braveclan. I am so glad she's still getting along with the Fleck, and now she's kind of like an aunt to his kids. I love her and her story. I really do. Fleck's first son, Braveclan. He was dropped off in Braveclan at 4 moons old, was adopted by Fleck and is now 6 moons old, and lonesome. He was quiet as a kid, so, I suppose that checks out. His mentor is Fleck, which makes perfect sense. She is close with Fleck and was also lonesome in her apprenticeship, so really she is the perfect cat for the job. I think Braveclan might feel as though he's kind of in his bigger and more confident brother's shadow, and Shea is entirely oblivious to these feelings. I'm thinking this guy might just be our new main character, if not Shea. He's got the backstory and angst for it, I reckon. He's constantly feeling insecure and like he's not meeting everyone's expectations. Perhaps he feels like he's got some big boots to fill when his adoptive father is such a great cat. I think he would find comfort in the fact that Fleck also had a hard time when he was younger and still grew into a formidable warrior. Also, I've just realized Ray Puddle is a grandpa now. I wonder how he feels about that. And I suppose Astrostripe is kind of their grandpa too? Step-grandpa? I'd also like to note that he had like 3 different sketches and it was so hard to get him to look right. And I don't even have a previous design that he needs to look like. He's just hard, man. And the second son, Shea. Same story, dropped off at 4 moons, adopted, now 6 moons old. He was a bully as a kid, and now he's confident. He's apprenticed to Glowstreak, however, which I think is an interesting choice, because Fleck and Glowstreak are having some trouble. I don't think Shea is entirely oblivious to it either, but he's gonna go give Glowstreak a chance. I really see an interesting dynamic for these 2 brothers. Shea is the bigger, more confident, and more talented of the 2, and Braveclan, well, he's not that. It's probably always been this way, and Braveclan probably feels very alienated because of it. Shea, I think he's entirely oblivious and doesn't think anything of it. Some cats are just quiet, and his brother just so happens to be one of those cats. No biggie. I think Shea has entirely forgotten that he was kind of a bully to Braveclan as a kid. He doesn't remember, and it wasn't even significant to him, but Braveclan probably remembers, or at the very least, is still affected, even if he doesn't hold a grudge. Sheepaw's also got the main character material in him, I think. Maybe in a more traditional way from Braveclan, if that makes sense. He's very confident. He was sure he'd be made into a warrior soon on his first moon as an apprentice. I suppose next year we'll see who takes the main center stage, if you know what I'm saying. And finally, Fly, who is named Fly Patch as per the suggestion of mushroom_ghost. I don't know, there were more options that were super creative, but this one just stuck. I think it's because of the ear. Thank you for all the suggestions, by the way. We had so many, and all of them were like really good. I especially liked Fly Freckle, Fly Buzz, Fly Swoop, and Fly Ear. I had so much fun looking through all of them. I think I'll put a list somewhere. Probably right here on screen. Anyway, Fly Patch has had an interesting year. He's now 101 moons old, so really practically on death's doorstep, and currently sick with white cough. Again, get out of the medicine den, seriously, man. He wound up in the medicine den at the very end of the year, but his healthy sprite is quite beautiful. Let us hope I can actually draw him healthy next year. This year, he has to stand guard of his kids though, so no time to lay down. Just gave him some snot and, you know. Speaking of his kids, he brought in 2 kids at the tail end of the year and refused to discuss their origin. I suspect that perhaps Flypatch had a loner mate somewhere. In any case, I get to draw kids, so I don't question it. His 2 daughters, Cragkit and Mousekit, are attention seeker and troublesome respectively, and they're very cute. I'm actually kind of excited to get some nicer eye colors into this clan. So many of them have like gray eyes, which is fine, but I love the brighter eye colors. Cross your fingers for their survival, please. They haven't done much yet, obviously, kids as they are at 1 moon old, but I'm quite excited to see what's in store for them. And this means more girls. And that'll do it for year 4. Here's your Braveclan, all 15 cats in all of their glory. Let's hope it doesn't grow too much from here. My Clangen clans tend to explode in size because I get very attached and then I never proceed. I'm trying to be braver about it for the sake of my wrist and my time. Also, feel free to suggest warrior names for the apprentices and the kids, I guess. They'll probably be warriors or you know, medicine cats, I suppose, if that's to happen, by the time year 5 is over. And on the topic of year 5, since, you know, there's a new way to adopt for same-sex couples, I want you all to cross your fingers for Grey-Aster kids in year 5. There's nothing that I want to draw more right now. Please. I was also wondering, while I was writing these notes, who is your guys' personal favorite cat, and why? I keep throwing out the fan favorite title for every cat that's my own personal favorite, and I figured why not find out the actual favorite of the people. I'm very interested, like, genuinely. You can also tell me about your takes and thoughts on other cats, and please do. It's literally one of my favorite activities to read about them. Also, everybody, we had the first fan arts. Oh my goodness. Now I've really made it. You have no idea how excited I am. Here they are, just the cutest from A_chill_artist on Instagram. Go drop them a follow, please. Look at them. We got Milk Fleck and Glowstreak. This one was so good. I love it. It's hilarious. And Lightburst. Traditional painted, mind you. Thank you. And if you happen to be interested in drawing fan art or writing or anything like that, tag me, please. I'm on Instagram, DeviantArt. You can add me on Discord or email me. Just send it to me. Get it to me. Get it to my eyes. I would be honored to display it in the next Braveclan video. Alright, I think that'll be it from me. I'd like to thank you. And in my notes it says 500 subscribers, but it's actually 700 now. Which is crazy. Thank you for having me. Things are gonna slow down around here. Obviously, you've already noticed, because I have university to tend to and stuff like that. But I will not disappear forever without a warning. I thank you so much for watching, and do consider leaving some likes or comments. I read all of them, and I reply when I can. Let it also be said that I'm most active on DeviantArt at the moment, and that's also where you'll find information on my commissions, if you reckon you'd be interested in something like that. I'll link it in the description, eventually. You know the drill. Anyway, thank you, catch you later, and take care.